I was just going to say, who's going to be the first one up doing the
Let me tell you
polka?
something. Ladies dance together, and man, they danced up a wall. Wow! And with
All right, this next piece, we're going to move from my mother to my father. And my dad absolutely loved this particular Polish waltz, and it's called Za Ebrufala. And this is something that I want to just talk about briefly because my wife found this, and this was an accordion convention. And I didn't even know the accordion was still all that popular. A lot of people kid around about the accordion and give it a bad name. They laugh about it, they tell jokes about it. One of the most famous jokes is, welcome to heaven, here's your harp. Welcome to hell, here's your accordion. Well, I take umbrance with that because the accordion is a very expressive instrument. It's used in a lot of ethnic music, but there actually are accordion orchestras that we learned at this convention. There are Spanish accordions, there's Zydeco accordions for the music from the bayou. So there's all sorts of music out there for the accordion. It's an extremely expressive instrument because of the bellows. It's like a voice where you can control the breath of the instrument. And we'll demonstrate a little bit of that for the last piece I'm going to play. But unique to the accordion is it has a set of reeds inside of it. And this particular accordion, it has a set of reeds known as the musette reed. And the musette reed is deliberately slightly detuned so that it has the sound of a French accordion. And I want to play just a little bit of that to show you the variety from the same box.
We learned something today.
Spin the rose.
All right. Oh my gosh. That's beautiful. This brings me back many years. That's beautiful. Very nice.
And last but not least, this was a polka that I had learned and actually performed in New Jersey with my accordion teacher, Freddie Yash. When I studied, this was back when I was about 8 years old, and I learned this particular polka. It's called the kochanka, and it is my mom's favorite.
I wonder if this is one of the many recorded for your father.
Is going to feature a function of the bellows of the accordion, which is what I'm opening and closing here. And these are the bellows, not unlike bellows that help you keep a fire going in your fireplace. They produce air, but they do so in both directions. And
as do most of the
these will be used profusely throughout this piece, and you'll understand when you see it done. It's something called the bellow shake. Okay, no more accordion, but I have an idea that I saw happen at a funeral that I was at not too long ago that also celebrated the life of somebody that everyone loved. And one of the things that was done, this actually was done in the church, was we asked for anybody that had a particular memory about the person who, as my brother put it, his life has just changed. And as a result of that, I'd like to ask anybody that might like to tell a little story about my mom to raise their hand, and I'll hand you the microphone, and you can share it with the group. So don't all shout at once, but I think I know where the first story is going to come from.
I have one over here.
All right.
Well, I had the pleasure of meeting Melda before she moved to Vegas. And we would try to keep in touch with her and send cards and flowers and such at birthday parties. And when we could, we'd get out to see her. We'd always make phone calls and be in touch. And one time we were speaking on the phone and she asked me what the weather was like in New Jersey. And I said, well, it's raining. She said, it's what? I said, it's raining. And I figured she was having a hard time because Vegas doesn't get that much rain.
Never.
And she said, it's doing what? I said, it's raining. Oh, could you spell that? And I said, you know, maybe her hearing's going, she's up there in age. So I spelled it, and she goes, oh, good, he can still spell. That's who she was.
How was it going?
Somebody down the road. Yes, you did, girl. Come on. Very good. So before she stands up, I'm just going to tell you this is probably the first girl. It's the first girl like this. Everybody look. It's the first girl like this. Everybody look. Ma, did you see that?
Dad saw it.
I just want to say that Melda and my mom and my dad and Pete were very close friends on Windsor Road, and they always treated me like family, and I have one very fond memory. My mother had passed away in 1981, and the Adamskis were having some kind of a party at their house.
Shocker,
No.
shocker.
Shocking.
My father wasn't going to be home, and my brother wasn't going to be home, so Melda said, "Hey, Joanne, come." You know, she has to come, and she was so insistent. "You have to come. You just have to." So I came, and they were having a family photographer there, taking pictures of their family. And she insisted that I get in the picture with the family, and I was very, embarrassed. I was like 19. Yeah, I was 19 years old. But I just thought of that. The first thing I thought of when Peter said about her hospitality in his eulogy, that was the first thing that came to mind. It was just, she was just so wonderfully hospitable. And always had me over, always feel welcome. You're like a daughter to me, but I never had. She was just coming over, so.
Hello.
Hello, I'm right here. Thank God I'm here. Who's next? Anybody else? Come on, I can walk around with them. Anybody with the board?
Come on. Come on, somebody from this table has no stories about Melda?
Come on, Johnny.
I have some other stories, but
John.
I don't want to say too many, but
John.
the last time,
John.
the last time I saw Mrs. Adamski, see, I call her Mrs. Adamski.
How we would talk.
Yes, and we were in a church, and she was coming, this was in Assumption, she was coming down the aisle with Brenda, and I don't know why, I forget what the occasion was. It might have been a wedding for somebody. And I hadn't seen her in such a long time. And I see Brenda, and I go, "Oh, that's Brenda," and then I recognize Mrs. Adamski. And she's looking at me, and I think I said, "Hello, Brenda." And then I go to greet her, and she said, "John, Melda Adamski." And I said, "Yes, Miss Adamski. I've known you for so many years." And but I think that sense of humor. Now I realize that sense of humor just always came out. And then another thing is she taught me so many lessons. One that I can tell you for sure. I was one time we were in the kitchen. We were off in the kitchen, and Mark said, "Well, I've been on this train and that train, and I traveled on this train and that train." So I said, "Yeah, well, I've been on 10 trains. So he goes, "You've never been on 10 trains. I said, "In one day." Well, my father had taken me to the city, and I was on the subways. So I figured, well, I'm going to count that as a train. And Mark is going, "No, that's not a train." I think even Peter might have said, "Oh, come on, that's..." Boys, if he said been on 10 trains, he's been on 10 trains. And I thought to myself, that's a wonderful lesson to learn, right? Because don't doubt, right? Don't doubt. So I had many with Mark, but I'll give you some. Thank you. Thank you, John.
Put him in the ball, John.
Now, as my brother Peter mentioned earlier, my mom in her later years had a caretaker that came into the house and helped out at the house as mom needed more and more attention. And as it came to the point where she needed 24/7 care, this woman actually opened her home to my mother, so that Gary would still be able to have a business. And as a result of that, she didn't have to go to a nursing home, which was one of her biggest fears in life, that we would just farm her out somehow. And this woman, Karen B. Rose, came to the rescue. And she has a forever place in the heart of the Adamski family, and she has a story to tell.
I have 3 stories.
Okay, 3 stories.
And if you stay long enough, there'll be 4 or 5.
Let me tell you something. Having Melda in my life was an honor. I lost my mother